Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
So today we're going to be doing a music review, and if you are new to my channel, first of all, welcome. Music is an interesting topic for me here on Up From the Underground because I like to review albums of specific bands or artists in pairs. And today we're going to be taking a look at two albums in the world of rock of two bands that I've been listening to for many, many years, and I'd like to talk about their newest releases for you. The first album I want to talk about, and yes, I didn't miss the boat on this one. I found out that this was coming out, and I like to make this recurring joke if you've seen past reviews of this band. And this, of course, is the fifth album from the band Alter Bridge, and it is called The Last Hero. If you don't know who Alter Bridge is, you probably know of a band by the name of Creed. This is basically Creed minus the lead singer Scott Stapp, and replaced with a much better vocalist, Myles Kennedy. So basically, we are talking about Creed without the douchebaggery. This album was something that I was really looking forward to because Alter Bridge has been around for quite a number of years, actually a little more than 10 years. When they were trying to break away from Creed, they brought out their first album, which was something that really did sound a little like Creed, but it had a little bit more of a better musicianship. Mark Tremonti pulled out his guitar and really showed us what he was capable of, and Brandon Marshall and Scott Phillips did their thing on bass and drums, and adding Myles Kennedy to the mix really added such an amazing vocal range, and it made their songs so much more epic. But as their career moved on, they started getting much harder and sounded like really dark and great. I just could not get over how much of a change this band has made throughout the years. But there really hasn't been a great album that they have made that has really resonated with me since their second album, which was Blackbird, and I really thought that The Last Hero was going to do that as I started the album, because the first four songs, especially My Champion, they're just absolutely amazing, and My Champion is such a motivational song. As the album moves on, it gradually starts to just get a lot more unexciting, and you kind of lose interest in it as it finally ends. I think one of the other stronger songs in the album is track 9, which is called You Will Be Remembered, but other songs like Poison in Your Veins, Losing Patience, and Cradle to the Grave, they just don't have the impact and the power that the first four tracks really have. And I was kind of disappointed about that because Alter Bridge is a band that I always like to talk about. I always tell people, you know, this is something so unique because it's hard rock, but it's also very positive and motivational because, just in case you all didn't know, even if you want to talk about Creed, these guys are Christian rock. So there's a lot of motivation and positivity in the songs, even if the riffs are hard and the songs sound a lot darker than normal. Still an okay listen. I'm not going to say don't listen to this one because you're definitely going to enjoy the first four tracks more than the rest of the album. But I would also say that if you are an Alter Bridge fan, because I'm sure that some of you are out there, it's definitely something that is at least worth a listen. Not their strongest, but still a good addition to the collection. But now let's talk about another album. The newest album from Green Day. Yes, Green Day and me go way, way back to the days of my tweens, and the first album that I ever purchased in Dookie. This is the band that my mother said stop listening to because they're never going to amount to anything. This band has been around for almost 30 years, and this band is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who would have thought that a bunch of punk kids from California would have amounted to something like this? And Revolution Radio, their newest album, is one of their strongest albums that I have ever heard. They've gone back to the statement-making, epic, rock opera style albums that they've done with American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown, but I think that this one has a much better flow to it, and I really like just about all of the songs on this album. I love how it starts and ends with the same sound with Somewhere Now and Ordinary World, but their single Bang Bang is great, Revolution Radio, Outlaws, Bouncing Off the Walls, Youngblood. Do you want me to go on? Because every single one of these tracks are great classic Green Day sound. Well, maybe not necessarily classic, because I don't think that anything that they do is going to sound like Dookie or Insomniac, or even going way back to albums like Kerplunk. But sound is really what is captured from albums like their other rock opera albums, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Green Day fans, you know, we're all going to keep trying to find out what these three guys have in store for us. I feel that they've made a winner with Revolution Radio. I think that it is something that encompasses their entire journey up until this point, and it is a very good listen. I think that it actually is one of the best albums that I have heard this year, and I'm just so glad that this is as good as it is, because it makes me even more excited for another album that they have to come somewhere down the horizon, because I've mentioned a couple of other bands this year that I've been listening to for so many years, that have been around for so many years, some even longer than Green Day, and I've just been saying that my fandom is being retired before this band is, because I'm just not enjoying the music that they're bringing me. But Green Day? No, my fandom is still strong, and I'm still going to listen to these guys because they are fantastic. So that's it, everybody. 2 new albums. I highly suggest that you listen to both of them, and let me know if you have heard them or plan to. Put your comments in the box below, and let's have a discussion about either of these. And I will see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.